Part 1, hopefully you've managed to finish and you've been keeping track of your progress, and you should have the city PNG file moving up from the bottom, extending the number of frames, in fact, to be 48. So we need to go back up slightly to finish, or to start part 2 rather. So we've done all of this, we've created the tween and up to 14, so we're on to part 15 now, where we're going to get a layer that's going to keep our actor on it, inserting a keyframe at frame 15. So with a new layer, like the last time, so we click our icon to add a new layer, rename it to be actor, and this one's going to operate from about frame 15, so we want to go to frame 15 and insert a keyframe. Now you can see there are other frames here, but we'll just make sure that those are blank. So we have done that, we've done 15, renamed it and inserted that keyframe at frame 15. And then the next part, choose import to stage, find the actor image and import it to your stage, converting it to a symbol. So we want to make sure we're on frame 15 here, which we are. Choose File, Import, and Import to Stage. And I know mine's on the desktop, and we want this actor file. Hopefully you all know who he is, although you probably don't. So, imported the stage, I've got to convert it to a symbol. So we right click, convert to symbol, and I'll just call it actor symbol, so we don't confuse it with any other files that we're going to have. Now we want to position the actor in the top left corner and adjust the size until you're happy with it. You can always go back and edit it. We're going to have it fade in like we did in some of the other tasks that we did. So I'm going to position that in the top left. We can always go back and change it, and it's not about having it perfect. So happy with that for number 18. Now I want to right click in the image and choose motion tween. So right click on the image and we're looking for motion tween, which is our first option. You can see that it's changed the timeline there, so I must have done that correct. So we're still have the image selected and we're still in the first keyframe. We want to open the color effects options from the properties window. So I have to click on properties over here. Yours might be a different display, but just look for the properties options. Next, we want to set the alpha setting in color effects to 0, which will just basically have it invisible. So properties, color effect, you can see is here, alpha, and then the setting's still set up from the last time I've used it 10, and I'll just put it down to 0. Now you can see it's invisible. Next, click into the last frame of the actor and adjust the alpha back up to 100%. So we've got to make sure we're in the last frame. You can see that alpha setting's been carried through all of the frames. So we go back to properties, making sure we've clicked on the image just to make sure. And to properties, you can see color effect, and we want to put it back up to 100%. Now, if I drag the line, you can see that it starts to fade in, so we can test that that works in the video. You can see our actor appearing. Okay, so let's just test that we've got everything so far. Background's appearing as black, yep. City should move up from the bottom, yep. The actor should appear and fade in, but the city background will disappear, so maybe not yet, that will be coming up later on. So next, we'll do a few more. Up to the end of 31, so we need a new layer, which we're going to call car. So I'm going to close this down, insert a new layer called car. Next, create a new keyframe for this layer at frame 20, so along to about frame 20. Don't have to be exact as long as it's close up to 20. So you want to insert a keyframe. Done. We want to import the car image to our stage and convert it to a symbol, making sure that we're on frame 20. otherwise it's not going to appear. Great. So again, File menu, Import to Stage, and it's this kit car. I'm going to right click on it and create motion tween like before. Oops, not motion tween yet, sorry. Right click and convert to symbol first of all. Call it car symbol. Okay, so we've done that. Next part, number 27, move the car off to the right hand side of the stage and adjust the size until you are happy with it. So we're going to have it small and get larger as it moves. So let's move it off to the right hand side somewhere, and we will shrink it down. Just have it beginning about here in the middle roughly is fine. Next, we're going to create a motion tween so we can actually tween it. So right click, create motion tween. Next, move to the last frame in the car layer and move the image to where you want to finish. So we're going to have that somewhere near the front. So drag along to the last frame. We want the car to kind of finish somewhere in the middle is fine. Next, increase the size of the object, and you can curve the motion too, which will give it a bit more dramatic effect. So get the car to appear bigger, and then remember we can curve that motion by clicking on the selection tool, making sure that you can see the curved line. And you can drag it in curved. You can actually adjust this to finish further over if you like. Click enter and test your animation works as expected. So let's command and enter that, and the city moves up, and then we've got the car animating in, which looks perfect to me. So that'll be the end of part 2. So make sure yours looks like this before you continue.